So let's talk about the Bermuda Triangle today. You're all probably familiar with it. Of course, it's that deadly zone down near Bermuda and the Bahamas off the coast of Florida that oftentimes ships go missing, airplanes go back in time, whatever happens. But what I want to talk about today is this Bermuda Triangle that exists in a lot of workplaces. And it's where employees get caught and often lost. And the points of the triangle are human resources, operations, and finance. So with operations, one of the challenges is that most business operators look at employees as cogs in the wheel. They see those folks as the way that the business just gets things done, and when they're not there, their attitude is, get me another warm body in here and I can make things happen. But then you get finance. To finance, our people are nothing but numbers, usually numbers on a spreadsheet. And so when that happens, they start to make decisions based on dollar signs instead of impacts perhaps to other parts of the business. And then you've got HR. Now you'd think that HR wouldn't be one of the points of the Bermuda Triangle, but in fact we are oftentimes. Because we look at the employees as people, which is not a bad thing, except when we look at them as people and forget about the rest of the business. And that's why my message today is we have to eliminate this Bermuda Triangle that's present in so many businesses. HR, finance, operations, they've all got to work together along with all the other departments present in our business to make sure that not only is the business running properly, but that our employees are integral parts of what we're doing. So when I think about it from an HR perspective, one of the things that we have to remember that we're really charged with as HR professionals is doing what's in the best interests of the business. Now that strikes a lot of people in a bad way sometimes when I mention that, because they'll say, well, Ed, it's HR's job to carry the banner for the employees. And I say, no, it's not, in fact. Just like every other department, it's our job to do what's in the best interest of the organization. Now here's the key. If we're doing what's in the best interest of the organization, oftentimes that's also in the best interest of the employees. If we can get a better workplace that leads to better productivity, excellent. That's better for the employees. If we can create an environment where our customers want to come and do business with us, that's better for the employees. And so from an HR perspective, where so many HR professionals fail is they go into board meetings and they talk about turnover, or they talk about the cost to hire or the time to fill. And those metrics may have meaning inside the HR function. But the reality is the rest of the board wants to know what HR is doing from a strategic imperative. How are they going out and finding the next generation of talent? How are we going to pay for the things that that talent wants in terms of a benefit package and a compensation package? We already know that the various generations all want different things. And so that's where finance comes in. HR and finance often have quite an antagonistic relationship, despite the fact that HR often reports in through the finance function. And I'm not quite sure why that happens, because my belief is that HR and finance ought to be the best of buddies. Those two departments should be working very closely together in order to build a budget that's employee-centric in terms of how do we get the most out of our budgeted employee dollars. How do we take the limited pool of resources that we have and get our people the best incentive plans, the best bonuses, the best benefits that money can buy in return for good hard work and productive results? And then you've got the operators, and they're the key piece in eliminating this Bermuda Triangle. You see, HR oftentimes does a great job of recruiting a good candidate in. They'll get them trained up, they'll onboard them, and then they turn them over to their frontline management team. And what I find is that oftentimes these frontline managers may know the business side of the business, but they may not know the people side of the business. And that's not necessarily their fault. It's usually because they've never been trained in how to manage an employee, how to motivate those employees, how to coach them and mentor them, help them to grow into mastering their jobs. And again, that comes back to HR and to a certain extent finance, because we want to set aside some budget monies for training our management team, not only in people management, but in all aspects of the business. So if we really want to eliminate the Bermuda Triangle in our businesses, where employees kind of get flushed into this whirlpool of nothingness, we need to make sure that the three key departments that impact employees, operations, finance, and HR, are all on the same page, making sure that the employees, from the day that they come into the organization and grow with it to perhaps the day that they leave, are valued and productive members of our workforce. Thanks, and let me know if I can help you solve your Bermuda Triangle.